Hello and howdy, everybody. So, she's a little wrinkly. It's fine. This is the level of quality you can expect from me. I'm kidding. So I wanted to do something fun, question mark. And I wanted to build a spread because I haven't done that in a minute. But I wanted to use dice to build it instead of the Spencer tarot cards. And I'm also playing some like meditation-y, study, focusy type music just to, hopefully ground myself and not fly off the handle. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy now. I hope you're happy how you've hurt your cause forever. I hope you think you're clever, girl. Okay. So I'm gonna use. Oh, whew, thank you. I'm gonna use one of these dice to determine how many cards it's gonna be in the set, in the spread. Sorry. And then I'm going to use the appropriate number of bags for each sort of space. So there's gonna be a lot, but we'll pull out like a sculptor. Hey, Mimi, how you doing today? Excuse me. We're gonna pull out the spread from the mess and find the message. Where's my phone? I do want to check and see the volume real quick, just to make sure it's appropriate. I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for asking. How are you? A little tired. Ready to take some naps. I did take a nap earlier, and then I woke up and it was storming, and I saw upload from Russ. I was like, oh snap. And he was swinging in a hammock. Here we go. Let's see. Yep, that's good enough for me. All right. So, usually in another thing, I'm about to finish going through and separating some orders to sit back. Oh, nice. How's the hunt for a car going? Usually, like, whenever I do, like, I build a spread or whenever I use, depending on the spread, I like to have lots and lots and lots of layers. So that's why I love the Spencers, because with the Spencers, it's like I can pull from the traditional meaning of the card, I can pull from the imagery in the card, I can pull from the figure, the character, like the mummy, the pirate, the zombie, whatever, right? And I actually like it's something that I would encourage too when, like I said, in using certain spreads because it gives your subconscious more to hit your conscious with, if that makes any sense. And then also, like you still have your intuition on top of that. So, hey, Eve. It is. It's going. Oof. It's raining there, so peaceful and relaxing. It's raining here too. I love it. You're patient though. I just finished watching your Taurus video. And high key, that's been my whole life. I think I read Artemis Fowl when I was young. And I was like, if I like could leave myself a clue, a hint, a trail of something to follow, like I feel like I would at least try. Okay, let's get into this. I have my handy dandy. Let me get to the right section though. Do I want here? Yeah, sure. I'll do this one. I did want to. I found that soul spread, and I do want to build like the rest of those out too. I also like want to start a. I've never like I've used Dropbox before, but I've never like uploaded anything to Dropbox. But I want to put some of these on Dropbox just in case, like if you have cards, music, pictures, whatever you have. Hello? And you want to also play around with the spreads, then you can. Why is this not? Is my battery dead? I hope this battery ain't dead, cause I ain't got a. Yeah. Oh, oh. Okay. So this one isn't working. So I could take the battery out of this and put it into this. But that's a little much, so I'm not gonna do that. Just gonna hope this pin works. One moment. Uno momento, por favor. How do I say chotomate kudasai? Minasan chotomate kudasai. Please wait a moment. I want to brush up my Japanese. 日本語が上手に、上手に話したい、話せたい、話したくて、読めて、読めたくて、I don't know. Anyway, it's been a weird day. Started out irritating, ending on a nice mystical note. Hey, I mean, I love that. That's always a gorgeous transition. It's like, oh, what? Okay, so we get the dice. Oh, goodness. And I'll just say number one. Alright, let's see. Let's get into this. And, if you find a link on this after with some Dropbox link where I make a PDF of all the spreads that I built, and I can link it to the videos, then you can use them if you want. See what they get for you, do for you, what contexts and sort of spaces they work in, what kind of cards they sort of work with. One card. Okay, I can do that. I'll grab this one since it's already here. Oh gosh, a one card spread. Let's see. I'm actually. Alright. And it's going to be sideways too. Because that's what the die looks like. Like that. There you go. I did not adjust the light before. I'm using the overhead light. She's not connected to my phone, so I can't. It's just that's the color we get if it's not blue, red, or green. And so I guess I'll just write out what these are. I'll write the numbers too, because why not? So we have 64, which is a 10. And we actually have 10. 64, 10, 12, 4, 3, and 1. 4, 3, 1. I just need to see what 64 is. If I had my phone, it would be quicker, so I don't have to flip between pages. I'll use this. Oops! I forgot my headphones are still connected. Honestly, though, I've been for the last few days, maybe the last few days, I've been feeling this, this feeling in my heart space, very, very, very consistently. And I'm like, oh gosh. But I remember there was some point when I started to feel a feeling in my heart space, and it was just there. And Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart readings, I had got, I think, one card pull from her. And she was like, yeah, this feels like, the new It, so get used to it. And it was just there. I was like, okay, well, I can do that. Well, I ain't seen Hemi in a minute. I'm gonna have to go over there one day. Oh, it's the ace. It's the ace of souls. Okay, ace of fire. It was almost like in the court air energy. I was like, what? You've had some heart palpitations for the past few days. Oh snap! What it mean? Somebody tell me what it mean. What it mean? So there's an ace of wands, wheel of fortune, Pisces, heart, solar plexus, water energy. This was like a soul challenge energy, especially since it's like coming out sideways. And so it's like there's something present within the space of the soul, or something that wants to be discovered. I have no clue, Mimi. Sometimes I just go along with it and hope that I'm not too far out of line. Also, the only number here that isn't sort of echoed is 4. 64 is a 10, which is a 1. 10 is a 1. There's 1. 12 is a 3, and then there's a 3. So there's this 113431. But there is a 4 in 64, so maybe that's not quite fair. But anyway, it feels like there's a space of like there's something within the soul that is very whole. It's very what it is. It's not really divisible. And is it 333? Oh, it is 333. Oh, snap. Where my phone at? I don't know where my phone is. So now it's 334. Darn it. Oh well. You'll have to trust us. Because it's like there's this indivisible, very unique, very present sort of thing within the element of fire that's trying to come into a space of being, but with the energy of water, it's almost like it's doused, right? With the energies of the Wheel of Fortune and Pisces, it's like the space of something that's trying to turn into being from a very sort of spiritual space, or from a very deep place. But maybe the challenge here lies in like the heart and the solar plexus, because those are the two chakras that are present. Interesting. So I'm gonna need like a very, 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 very descriptive card for this, because I only get one. I want to write that down though, because if I look at this in the future, then I don't want to forget. So this is, oh, come on, please. Why did you? I don't know why this just all of a sudden stopped working. Mercury, girl, what are you doing? Let me use my technology. I'm trying to write down what this means and I can't, so I guess it doesn't matter. In this now moment, I know what it is. So, Mystical Dreams Tarot. Yes. Yes. No? Tarot Apocalypsis. I would go with the SKT. It could either be Mystical Dreams or the Tarot Apocalypsis. We'll have Siri flip a coin. All right, Mimi. If Siri says heads, I'll do the Tarot Apocalypsis because it's on top, and if Siri says tails, I'll do the Mystical Dreams Tarot. Still don't know where my phone is. Hey Siri, where's my phone? Hey Siri, where are you? Siri, Siri, please. Mystical dreams. Eve has decided. I love this deck. Thank you again so much. I feel like it's just like so me. It just like resonates. I'm like, what? I didn't expect for it to just like hit with me this much. But maybe I shouldn't be too surprised. Oh, you can't see any of those now. Let's see. There you go. It's not like you can really see these anyway. Maybe I'll do these. I could do like a one card pool. Like, what's your soul challenge right now? What's your soul trying to bring to the light that circumstances are making it difficult to sort of see or whatever? And that's the thing between water and fire. Fire is like, if you think about it, I don't know really how to put it, but fire is like everything. It's like fire is source. Fire is the all. Fire is the all. We are the water. So it's like water is it's the pieces and parts of ourselves that we embody, that we choose to sort of use. And that's why there's this like a little bit of a challenge between the heart and the solar plexus. And also there's a challenge between Pisces and the Wheel of Fortune, because it's like it's there, but we just don't know how to bring it into reality in a way. It's like the feeling is there, but we don't know like what to do to make it so. And it's almost like with that element of water, it gets washed out before it can. It's like building a sandcastle on a beach. Ooh, the Lord of Pentacles with the Hanged Man. I love those energies. There are some decks on my wish list. I'm like, how did these even get here? Like, I don't even remember putting this on here. So, thank you. Alright, this soul challenge. What is this? This will be an exercise in utilizing intuition and opening channels, because I only get one card. I'm up to the challenge. That was cool. Okay, well. Ooh. Oh, goodness. So we get a little bit more than one card today, which is nice, because there's this is general. So take everything as it resonates and as it applies. The bottom of the deck is the sun, and we can see the sun and the moon. So, you know, you could say it's appropriate for the space of the eclipse that we're coming into. He does! I love it, though. I love the Lord of Pentacles. So we have the Spirit of Swords, which might be the Page of Swords. I think spirits are pages, dreamers are pages, spirits are knights. So the Knight of Swords came out as the final card earlier today. There's something here about sort of integrating transformation and beauty, and like, yeah, this is that internal truth that's like really trying to sort of come out. Like, Crown is on fire, trying to think of a way, trying to manufacture a way to get this to happen, trying to set the conditions just right for us to transform into all of this Scorpion energy, or to transform into the Peacock energy, rather than us being like just burnout. It's like a very, very precarious sort of tower situation, because it's like if it's done properly, it can overload the system type of energy. Or you could come to this realization that is very much so not the one that you're supposed to be coming to. And then the other two cards that came out, it's the Lovers and the Hanged Man. And it's funny because in the Lovers card, the body on top is not pressing against the body on the bottom. And it's like, I don't think that's how copulation works. I think to produce more life, there has to be a little bit more contact than that. Um, but it is also a time thing. There is this energy. It's like, and I was going to talk about it yesterday in some space, but I didn't. It reminds me of Dolores Cannon, the three waves, right? You start with the indigos, and the indigos that come in and they bust up systems, and then you get the next wave that sort of, it's really, it's like you get the ones who tear it down, the ones who are in that space of transition, and then the ones who build the new, right? Why is that energy here? I don't know. I just lost it. But that, it came out yesterday at some point. I just didn't talk about it because there was a lot that was happening. So I'm gonna read the Spirit of Swords. But that's what this feeling is. It's like, just like that breadcrumb reading that Eve, Everlong Mystic, the Taurus reading that she just put up. Because it's like, the things that you leave for yourself to get you to reach a certain conclusion. And like, it feels like it could either turn into this peacock or this scorpion. And it's really like trying very, very hard to maximize the likelihood that you're going to see the peacock in it. What was that card? It was find the hidden blessing or the hidden ally, or I think it was the hidden ally card. It was like a hard to find blessing or something. I literally just watched it. But it's that energy. Let's read this. Oh gosh. The Spirit of Swords. What's interesting is like the Spirit, the Lady, and the Lord of Swords all hold very sort of similar imagery. The Spirit of Swords. The masquerader is a wise, elegant one, and yet for all of his knowledge in many areas, he collects it without using it. He hides behind his excuses, his mask, questioning himself. Although within there is the marriage of intellect and intuition, there is likewise uncertainty. He balances precariously without solid grounding to give strength to his convictions, and thus he does not commit to action. He looks in the mirror without seeing the full picture and therefore is always short of sight. He projects something that is not necessarily the truth. The peacock feathers demonstrate his willingness to display an aura of guidance, of protection, of one who is awake and aware of the true issues at hand. Yet one must beware, for the feathers contain many eyes, which merely appear to see where the masquerader may lack the sight of a single important factor. The scorpion lifts his claws to touch the mouth of the masquerader, indicating that his message, his word, may sting. To take guidance from one who is without wisdom is to be stung by ignorance. Taking poor counsel can result in consequences that stretch far beyond the activity and interfere with the formation of a stable future. The sorrow and loss it can yield far outlast the ill thought out action. In a reading, a person in a uniform, a learned man, or one portraying wisdom beyond their truth, a person who likes to offer advice outside the area of knowing, difficulty in communication, kindly yet not wise. I'm like, is this me? Is this me? The ally in disguise. Thank you. It was the ally in disguise card. Here is Pisces energy again with Gemini energy. See, there's something in this. It's like it's this energy of like there's just enough. There we go. I gotta like bend my hand. Here we go. There's just enough contact here for us to sort of feel the warmth of something, but it's not like a full embrace. It's not complete. But what it feels like it's more about the times, though. Like the times, like the environment was not yet ready for something like this to sprout and to grow. And so this feels like it's an energy almost of us sort of running in circles trying to make sense out of something that we cannot yet make sense out of. But with this Sun card, it's like the Sun card is bringing the space of that transition. It's like the time wasn't yet right then, but it's more right now. And behind the Sun is this Ten of Wands. And then the Lord of Wands. Shout out to Ganesha with the vehicle in his lap. I remember that. And the sickle. This is interesting. It almost looks like Lord Ganesh is holding a sickle in this hand. And it's interesting because the Seven of Pentacles keeps coming out in the Pride Tarot. And in the Seven of Pentacles, there's a sickle, but the sickle is laying down. It's like it's not yet a time to harvest. It's time to anchor something. And it's almost like there are certain events that is making things possible. It's like if there's a light energy and a shadow energy, the light allows the shadow because of the response, right? With like all of this sort of misty, illusory energy coming out of the snake sort of in this particular space representing shadow, and all of the illusions that it weaves. It's like it's not until that energy, like a light energy, is surrounded by so much illusion that it becomes time to sort of like reap. Because it's like you wouldn't see it otherwise. It's like it has to be so loud and in your face for something to actually happen. The challenge is to not be broken by it. Oh, it is. Like Spirit is like trying to pry the top one off of the bottom one. Like, no, get off of that. That's not what you want. like that. Well, then that gives a whole new context to this Hangman, because then that's the things that we kind of sort of cling on to feel that intimacy, to feel that warmth, to not be alone, so that it's for comfort. Right? And then maybe that full moon lunar eclipse revealed something when it comes to comfort. And these things that we need to separate ourselves from. Thank you! If you wouldn't have said that, I don't think I would have seen it. Eve said on the Lover's card, it looks like one is being pulled, but she's looking at it upside down. I like that. And in this Ten of Wands card, like there's a sun and a moon. It's almost, this Ten of Wands card could be the space of like being in this sort of eclipse tunnel as we see the comet. Well, I guess the comet is kind of going from the sun to the moon. And this year, we don't have that, but last year we did. It was a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse, and then another lunar eclipse in June. I think the first lunar eclipse was full moon Sagittarius, and then it was a new moon Cancer solar eclipse, and then it was a full moon Capricorn lunar eclipse. This year, though, I believe we only have a lunar eclipse that precedes a solar eclipse. So I guess this would be the 6 month window, right? From this solar eclipse to the next lunar eclipse, it'll be a full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini. After we have this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. And again, it's this mutable Gemini Pisces energy. The thing about Gemini and Pisces, I feel like Gemini and Pisces are two of the lesser grounded mutable signs. I feel like Virgo and Sagittarius do a very good job of being mutable but still like grounded, right? Gemini and Pisces are the ones that can be a little out there. I always say thank you to Gemini because if Gemini wasn't Gemini, then people would be looking at Pisces the way they look at Gemini. So but I love Geminis. I love a lot of the signs, honestly. They all have something to teach and to give, and when you interact with them in their space, it's like you can't help but love it. What was I saying? There was something. Oh, the moon. So it feels like there's this gravitational Virgo Sun Sag rising. My mom is a Pisces Sun, Gemini Moon, and Sag rising. So she's triple mutable. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's just like, it's a lot. A lot of explaining. I got enough like Taurus in me. I'm like, okay, if that's what you say, okay. I'm just playing, kind of. All right. It feels like the moon. It feels like the moon is pulling something up, right? In the space of the dark, in the space of the lunar eclipse, there's something that it's pulling to the surface. And when it comes to the energy of the sun, it feels like the sun is marking the time. And so it almost like this energy of like whatever's coming up, whatever the moon is bringing to the surface, it needs to breach within the space of this solar eclipse. And time is relative, so there's no sense of urgency. Both. Both. Well, I wouldn't say it's hard for her to make decisions, but it's like that Gemini thing of like, why? But like, why? Why? And then also, I feel like not only is it like Gemini, why? But then it's also like you have to make it make like Sagittarius sense on top of that. So it's a lot of explaining. And then like a little bit of that Pisces, but she has that like Pisces intuitive piece in there too. So sometimes the pieces connect in. I'd say she's pretty easy to get along with. Just like I can be pretty easy to get along with in certain spaces. So there's the energy of something that's being pulled to the surface. Again, with the moon, it's bringing the element of water. With this hangman, it's bringing the element of fire. But the moon is still here. Oh, look. Yeah, yeah. Because there's the wolf. There's the moon. Above the water. The water's at the bottom of the card, right? It's up. Whatever is hidden in the depths, it's reached the surface in time. And again, it feels like the soul's challenge is to not be broken. I feel like the soul's challenge is also to integrate seemingly disparate pieces. And like that's kind of sort of the vibe that's been coming out a lot lately. It's being able to hold paradox, being able to approach duality in a way that doesn't remove either aspect of that duality or polarity, and it also doesn't negate it either. If that makes any sense. Yeah. It's not very let's see. I could do this a little bit to make it easier to see. Let's see. Nope. Oof, yeah, that's definitely not it. There you go. A little bit. We'll apply it for now. We'll apply it for now. Why not? So the challenge is this spirit of swords. Oh yeah, now you can see it. The challenge is the spirit of swords, clarified by the lovers. I like it in reverse. Well, I'll show you both ways. The lovers and the hanged man. That's upright. This is in reverse. And then at the bottom of the deck, it's the sun and the Ten of Wands. In both cards, we see the sun and the moon. Now, in the Ten of Wands, they're a lot farther apart. In the sun card, they're a lot closer together, and they're bridged by that wet crescent moon. That's a high priestess energy. And it is almost a high priestess level of, I don't want to say knowledge, on like, because it's like they come together, and in the coming together of the sun and the moon, it creates the framework for this portal where this thing lies. And that's like, I don't know, that's amazing. And so maybe there is a little bit, yeah, that's what this is. It's sort of navigating like beauty and pain. And we say that beauty is pain, or to make ourselves beautiful is a painful process, I feel like, right? Also, in this, low key, this lover's card is carrying a little bit of an energy of foreplay, because it's like, well, now she's on top and he's on the bottom, but it's like he's gonna flip her over to the point where he's on top and she's on bottom, and they're gonna do that Lion King Simba and Nala thing, right? Maybe that's Nala on top of Simba, like Pinja again. And then, but like that's the thing that triggers Simba's memory. He's like, oh my gosh, the only person who ever took me down like this was Nala. And then Nala's like, oh my gosh, Simba, the only person that I was able to push over like this is Simba. I'm just playing. But there's a recognition in that. There's a recognition in the back and forth. Or there's supposed to be. It's supposed to trigger something beyond like negative feelings. Which is again why this energy, it feels so very precarious. And with the Scorpion, it's like anything, a lot of things that are toxic or poisonous can be medicinal when taken in the right concentration. And it's like it's trying to figure that out. And so it feels like what happens is it's very incremental, maybe. But it feels like it's also going to reach this point where it may be a little touch and go. But again, it's sort of also related to integrating polarity and accepting duality for what it is. I think a lot of times our way to accept duality is to almost make it non existent, or to collapse it on the middle. But that space is important. There's something that's created in this space between the lovers. If it's like if it were a full contact embrace, it's almost that, like, when you go to a middle school or high school dance and someone's like, leave room for Jesus. Like when you're dancing with your partner, you don't want to be like grinding on top of each other or twerking or whatever, right? And that's what this is doing. This is leaving room for the thing that is waiting for its time to sort of like come into being. It's like these are the lovers. This is their child in the womb who's destined to do something after a certain amount of time. This fish of knowledge down here, either one or the both of them knows that their union, it's like it has a greater purpose. But there's also like a series of things that need to take place. There are things that need to be navigated. And there is a sort of energy in here where it's like knowledge can cut, or certain types of knowledge or information can be like dangerous, right? Or that's what we think, right? Especially if we're in the space of like, oh my gosh, like this changes how I think about or how I view everything, and I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. Okay, light, yes, work, sis. It stopped. Okay. Yeah. And see, like, oh my gosh, come on. That's the thing here. It's when sun and moon meet, but when they meet in a space that they can be fully what they are. It's duality and polarity. It's duality that makes room for the world to be. It's polarity that doesn't necessarily always serve us, or it's like polarity along that duality that determines what we get, right? Like the creator separated itself into many, 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 many things for us to experience a life. If it were all one, it's like it wouldn't be sort of as possible. But at the same time that it isn't together, it is. Because we're all here. And so it's here. Even when we're in these separate individual experiences. And to further clarify that again, it's like at the top of the card, you have the sun and the moon, everything is separated out. Red, or it's blue on the left side, or right side, and red on the other side. But at the bottom, the pools of red and blue sort of come together. And you would be able to see it if the light cooperated. Come on, it ain't even going green. It's just like blue, 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 blue. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, come on! Come on! Come on! Can I get some white light, please? Thank you. You can see like the red and the blue mixing in that bottom pool. No longer separate. It's the mixing together that makes space for the womb, right? Goodness. But it's not, I feel like, again, with the Ten of Wands, it's something that's very, very difficult to sort of manage on this place and in this space. I feel like it leads to a lot of difficulty, I guess, in handling that paradox. And this is the soul challenge of whoever resonates with this. It's like allowing space for both. And I love that there's a mermaid here, right? Because, like, there's the man, there's the fish, and then off to the side is the man fish, or the person fish. There's the human, there's the person, there's the fish, and then there's the person fish. And then there's that wolf in the back that's just like watching. And it reminds me, I think it's Native American, where it's like, there's a good wolf and a bad wolf inside all of us. And then there's the person that's like, well, which one wins? And it's the one that you feed, right? But in the space between the two, it makes room for something where it's like they exist as one over here. This was a good choice, Eve. Thank you for saying these cards. I mean, I'm sure it could have come out in a way somehow with the Tarot Apocalypsis, but it's a lot easier to see here. Also, thank you for like saying it looks like the person's being pulled because it's upside down. You are all part of this experience. So thank you. The one thing I can't really make out though. Oh. This is an expansion of sacral and solar plexus energies within this hanged man. And we see that like his foot is tied to the clock, so it's almost like when the fire goes down, it'll be like a, not like dynamite, but it'll burn around this and then it'll go and it'll like set him free. So again, it's almost this energy. It's like this mermaid, which could be like your higher self, is sitting outside while you're in this space of trying to integrate, basically like you're trying to become a mermaid as well. You're trying to integrate the knowledge of this fish of knowledge, right? Here. That's why your legs are tied here. That's why it's like one leg. And he's like, well, how do I configure my legs to make it feel like a little bit more fin like? And it's like by the time the rope is burned and he goes plunging into the water, it's like he's going to know how to swim. He's going to become a mermaid as well. And that's sort of like the surfacing of this hidden nature or this hidden ability within him. And the cards just split to reveal Lord Ganesh with that vehicle. Because the vehicle gives us the ability to navigate the sky as we do the land, right? So that's what I got. I guess that's the Soul Challenge spread. I think this was a good idea. No, you're fine. I appreciate it. And I'm glad you did. There's kind of sort of a lot here, but I feel like it's also a lot simpler. I think like we put so much emphasis on sort of like one pole over the other pole, or it's like we overcomplicate it a lot of times. It's almost like if you just allow it to be, then you would naturally see. Also, in this, there's an energy that's very much, it was the blockage when I did the Resolver spread, which is based around the energy of the Chariot. It's like there was all this gorgeous like light and dark coming together. There's like we're starting to see spirit is being more present. And the challenge was that we're so focused on the light or the beautiful or what feels good that we don't do anything to like transmute or transform our current situation into that, right? And again, it's like it's someone that's sort of blinded by beauty or blinded by the finer things in life who like chooses to look at all of these eyes instead of the two very sort of like here eyes, and it doesn't allow for that transformation to happen. Or it's like it would try to find ways to circumvent that transformation. And it's like that's this though. Well, I feel it in my third eye. I feel it in my third eye. And it's interesting that, like, the third eye isn't covered completely, at least. But also, this, I'm gonna say it's the right eye. The right eye isn't covered in this either. The left eye is completely covered. The right eye is closed, but it's not covered. And I think the right eye is the eye of wisdom. It's chokma, right? So let me pull. We're gonna branch out a little bit, and as this deck is, we're gonna see what's around chokma. Chokma should be right eye. Yeah, right eye wisdom right here. With chesed, right hand empathy. So we definitely need some of that. And bina, left hand knowledge. So we need to bring empathy to our knowledge to turn it into wisdom or to guide it more towards wisdom. And it's heavy. I feel like chesed, right hand empathy, it kind of shows us how heavy our heart can be if we have empathy here, because there's so much that happens. It's like, well, oof, good luck being an empath on earth where things are constantly sort of happening. But we're navigating that somehow as well. Brinth, angel of time. This is the energy of something. It's like we can't disallow this because we don't know how it'll work, right? And it's like we can't wait until everything is perfect, or wait until we have all of the information, or wait until we know how it works, because it feels like the space of something that we mature into with the angel of time. As we spend time here, as we spend time in this, we learn. And obviously you don't want to overwhelm yourself, but you don't want to be completely closed off either. Yes. No, no. Bina is 2, Chokma is 3, I believe. Let me see. Because they're at the top of the tree. Let me see. Chokma is 2, Bina is 3, and 4 is Chesed. So this is 3 and 4. Bina and Chesed. Chokma is 2. But they're coming out around this right eye. That isn't covered, but it's also not open. So let me make sure. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Chokma the second emanation, Bina the third emanation, and then Chesed the fourth emanation. So that's what I got. This was interesting. Again, it's I don't have to say anything. It was interesting, right? Do I get a final message? Nope. That's it. Yes? No. Nope. That's it. That's it. It's something that it's like, if you want to lose weight, or if you want to do something, like if you want to start a project, if you want to renovate your house, it's going to take time. And so one day you just got to start. And the more time goes by, it's like, man, if I would have started it then, then by now I would have been whatever. And it's like, okay, true, but when are you going to start? I love this. I am going to shuffle this out, though. But we're not going to get a final message. Unless the cards come out, then we will. I got to go to the restroom. I've been drinking too much water. Oh, look, there's that 10 of cups. With that stone egg. That stone egg and the 10 of cups always gets me. Oh! And so I could have left a comment, but I literally just finished watching it. In that video, the in Eve's Taurus video, the Ten of Cups came out, and Eve mentioned it being community, and it felt like, because there were like 5 individuals, and there was a lower cup and a higher cup, so it felt like a community of individuals who were connected to their higher selves. And so it's like you get the lower and the higher self all present, a very like council-like energy. I was like, what? Oh my gosh. So yeah. Oh, 2 cards. Okay, fine. I'll split them, and we'll see. I said we weren't gonna get a final message, but we are. Oh, I gotta go to the restroom. Rest. That is not how you say restroom. I was gonna say restaurante. That's restaurant. The Ten of Wands and the Ouroboros. 10-10. I've been seeing 10-10 a lot for a minute. Ten of Wands and the Ouroboros. This is a return. This is the uncovering of something like very sort of old. The Ouroboros in this deck, it still has legs. This is something that preceded the events and the occurrences in the Garden of Eden, before the snake was cursed to lose its legs. And on the other channel yesterday, it came out, it's like some of us are in this space of gaining our wings without losing our legs. And it's like there are creatures with no legs and wings, the Quetzalcoatlus. And then there are the dragons, the ones who have legs and wings. And one isn't necessarily better than the other. But if the truth of you is one, or closer to the energy of one, and it was also this energy of like growing in light, to the point where it's like, you know, we don't have to go through these harsh lessons. We don't have to slither on our bellies to learn to fly. And there actually is something here about being in the middle. In the middle, you're able to see both sides. And it's like, if you can get a view of the polarity and duality as a whole, then it's like you can see the cycle as it is. And that's one of the things that Rest from Rustling Around really helped me accept last year. At about no, it was like last July, August maybe. And he's a white world bridger, and that's my challenge, so, you know. The what? And that's like, it's the thing of Earth. Earth is so sort of like random and diverse, and there's so much choice and so much will that things can become things in this space that they would never become in other spaces, because other spaces don't necessarily allow the fluidity and flexibility. So yeah, that's gorgeous. I'm going to go to the restroom, and then probably I need to start building those spreads. I also want to build out. Oh, ooh, I like this. I can use this. I want to build out the soul spread too, into like a series of like 2 or 3 readings maybe, and then maybe just like put it up and be like, you know, do this at your own pace if you want. See, I'm kind of struggling between like doing it and not. I'm like, well, I could just like build it and then put it up and let other people just do what they will with it, and that'll be fine, right? I don't know. It's a little warm. We'll see. We'll see. I also need to. Maybe I don't need to, though. My responsibility right now is to flow and do what I feel in the moment needs to be done. I do want to roll this, though. Ooh, the number 3. This 3 gives me an energy of the 7 of Pentacles because of the Vada known tarot. How they're all in like this diagonal line. 3 is a catalytic number, right? This is so the top dot is the masculine, the bottom dot is the feminine, and the middle dot is what grows in the womb. It's what grows in the space between them. And the thing, it's like neither parent physiologically, it's like the man experiences very little change. The woman goes through a process of change, but more or less returns to the state that she was in before she was pregnant. More or less. Sometimes less, sometimes more. But there is something within them that is forever changed. And so it's this energy of things that can change other things and within themselves maintain a certain element of stability or elasticity, a return to their original state. But in the participation of this change, there is something within them that is forever changed. And I think it's for these two extreme energies to tap into what has forever been changed. That can be a little bit more difficult to sort of grasp, I guess. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. Ooh! I hope it all works out for you. I watched like one episode of that show because my friend was like, it's amazing. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I don't have Netflix. So, all right, this is what I got. I hope you have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that as you become more and more and more you, you find, catch, tune into whatever it is that you need to get there. All right. Thank you for stopping by. Goodbye. Whew, gotta pee.